is Jeffrey Sagan.
And I'm Ramona Head.
And the title of her performance is Exploring Rights, Encountering Resistance,
And exchanging ideas.
In the CTU.
Two ideals are struggling for supremacy in American life today. One, the industrial ideal, dominating through the supremacy of commercialism, which subordinates the worker to the product and the machine. The other, the ideal of the educators, the ideal of democracy, which places humanity above all machines and demands that all activity shall be the expression of life. If this ideal of the educators cannot be carried over into the industrial field, then the ideal of industrialism will be carried over into the school. Those two ideals can no more continue to exist in American life than if our nation would have continued half slave and half free. If the school cannot bring joy to the work of the world, then the joy must go out of its own life, and work in the school as in the factory will become drudgery. That was Margaret Haley in 1904 giving her speech, Why Teachers Must Organize.
A prominent leader in the creation of CTF, also known as Chicago's Teachers Federation, she fought for teachers' rights, most notably for her promised pay raise and tax money for educational funding. As a teacher in the infamous Stockyard District of Chicago, she taught classes of 60 students. Working in unbearable conditions, including pay, less than those of unskilled workers, racism, and sexism, she was forced to teach under a standardized system of curriculum institutionalized by bureaucrats.
Basing her ideologies off of that of John Dewey, the educational philosopher, she believed it was time for teachers to encounter new machines in which they were automatons and to push students instead to explore their roles in democracy. The Chicago Teachers Union, also known as the CTU, explored the effectiveness of forming a union in order to exchange ideas, all while encountering opposing views then and now regarding workers' rights within education.
An earlier depiction of Chicago, The Jungle, written by Upton Sinclair, gives a detailed account of the standards of living as well as working conditions of the time. Such conditions are what Margaret Haley and other teachers sought to educate their students on instead of the standardized exams and curriculum of the time. In addition to this, teachers fought for better pay and funding for schools in Chicago. Let's take a look to where it all began, to where the Chicago educators united against a corrupt system.
Wow, we wouldn't be a union without what happened in the 1930s.
Well, I do know that in 1937 is when the Chicago's Teachers Union was born.
Well, do you know how or why they were born?
Yes, it's from the outgrowth of new collaborations among different union factions. Of course, all the different unions in Chicago form the CTU.
Well, that's not all the details. The Chicago Teachers Union was created in the 1930s by merging teacher factions. With the help of the BEC, they fought the decrease in cuts in public education. This convinced the previously divided teachers unions that they must either unite or fail. There were 8 different teacher organizations at this time, including the MTU, the ETU, and the FWHST, that combined to form the Teacher Welfare Organization and proved to be a powerful force.
Oh yes, that's when Chicago public schools canceled many of their cuts to physical education, music, and the arts. Most teachers went back to teaching 6 classes per day rather than proposed 7. By September 1935, Board of Education reassigned all the dismissed teachers in July 1933.
Yes, then in August 1934, teachers received all the back salary they'd been previously denied.
That's great, isn't it?
Well, not exactly. Even though the CTU made these important gains during the 1930s, public sector workers were barred from becoming collective bargaining units that could sit down at negotiating tables with school districts. This prohibition against collective bargaining rights for public sector workers received bipartisan support from America's political establishments.
Isn't that why in this article, President Franklin Roosevelt was unequivocally an opponent of public sector union jobs to action, saying, since their own services have to do with the function of the government, a strike of public employees manifests nothing less than an attempt on their part to prevent or obstruct the operations of government until their demands are satisfied. Such actions looking toward the process of government by those who have sworn to support it is unthinkable and intolerable.
After the strike in the 1930s, the CTF began to dwindle in members as the majority of its members defected to the CTU. This was also in part because of the death of Margaret Haley in 1939. By 1960, the CTU had won over a majority of educators with the idea of collective bargaining and thus became representative teachers in all contract negotiations. In addition to this, many teachers in Chicago joined the AFT, or American Federation of Teachers, and pushed for funding and better working conditions on a larger scale.
The next encounter between the board and CTU was in 1969, which resulted in a strike. The CTU authorized its official strike on May 1969 with the support of a majority of teachers. Within a few days, Mayor Richard J. Daley succumbed to the strike's pressure a negotiated settlement that met all the CTU's demands. A $100 per month raise and the recruitment of 750 new teachers to help relieve the overcrowded classrooms. But their encounters with the board did not stop there.
From 1969 to 1987, the CTU led a total of 7 strikes over issues such as salary increases, class size maximum, and sick leave.
The next resistance of the CTU was against the closure of 16 schools.
On September 10, 2012, 6 months after Rahm Emanuel was elected mayor of Chicago, the CTU began to strike. This was the first strike since 1987, and it involved an extensive amount of educators who were fighting for the protection of teachers who lost their jobs as a result of the school closures. In addition to this, since there were so many educators, they attracted headlines from across the nation. According to Illinois state law, teachers were only allowed to strike over salary issues, but they began to explore a number of different issues, such as smaller class sizes and a richer curriculum.
As one CTU member said of the 2012 strike, we fought for more social services than our students need. We fought for equal investment to public education. We fought for equality and equity in education. And we promised to stay committed to these rights and beliefs.
The following is Karen Lewis in 2012 after she was elected president of the CTU.
Today is the beginning of the end of scapegoating educators for all the social ills that our children, families, and schools struggle against every day. Today marks the beginning of a fight for true transparency in our educational policy, how to accurately measure learning and teaching, how to truly improve our schools, and how to evaluate the wisdom behind our spending priorities. This election shows the unity of 30,000 educators standing strong to put business in its place, out of our schools. Corporate America sees K-12 public education as $380 billion. That up until the last 10 or 15 years, they didn't get a sizable piece of. Our teachers and paraprofessionals are poised to reclaim the power of our 30,000 members in order to reclaim what we love, teaching and learning in publicly funded public schools.
Bruce Rauner, citizen, later governor, gave an opposing view.
The critical issue is to separate the union from the teachers. They're not the same thing. The union, basically, is a bunch of politicians elected to do certain things. Get more paid, get more benefits, less work hours, more job security. That's what they're paid to do. They're not about students. They're not about the results. It's the weak teachers. It's the lousy, ineffective, lazy teachers that unfortunately, there are a number of those. They are the people that the union is protecting. And that's where just conflict of interest between the good teachers and the union bosses.
After the 2012 strike, CTU, CPS, and the Board of Education agreed to hire over 600 additional teachers in art, music, and physical education to make the school day better and not just longer. However, it seems that we're moving away from the exchanging of views and that this will not be the end of the encounter between the CTU, CPS, and the board.
The CTU was created in the 1930s by merging teacher factions. By 1969, they were a force to be reckoned with. The CTU stood out amongst the other teacher unions, in the end, AFT, with their perseverance and success.
In addition, after the 2012 strikes, CTU, CPS, and the Board of Education agreed on a pool of funding for social workers, psychiatrists, and special education teachers for schools with high caseloads, a $250 reimbursement to teachers for school supplies, a 7% increase in pay over 3 years, maintaining steps and lanes so that teachers with more experience and master's degrees earned more.
These strikes that were fought for in 2012 did not withstand the test of time. Here in 2015, we are encountering a new financial crisis because CPS is $480 million short for this year's $5.7 billion budget.
However, some of the ideas that they had to encounter were expressed by political figures such as Rahm Emanuel and Bruce Rauner, who argued that unions were not for the betterment of education, but for personal economic gain. Rauner stated, Chicago has given, and created a financial crisis that Chicago public schools face today.
Through the teachers' exploration of their rights as well as their activism, they created a union to exchange ideas.
The CTU continues to push to this day what they believe are inequitable contracts.
Today, the teachers in the CTU hold on to their legacy of standing up for their rights and the rights of their students.
In the words of Margaret Haley, echo from the past. 2 ideals are struggling for supremacy in American life today. 1, the industrial ideal, dominating through the supremacy of commercialism, which subordinates the worker to the product and the machine. The other, the ideal of the educators, the ideal of democracy, which places humanity above all machines and demands that all activity shall be the expression of life.